Perfect. So we have about 9 outlines, so that not outlines. The first one is context for the concept. Number 2, we have looking at it. The first act of creation was division. The first act of creation was division. Number 3, we are looking at subtract before you add. Number 4, we are looking at identify the routine behind your results. Okay. So behind every behavior is a belief. Okay. Number 6, we are looking at put your belief on trial. And number 7, replace the thief with truth. Number 8, we are looking at build on bedrock, not sand. Number 9, your belief may be holding you back. Okay, so we started the class yesterday by telling us that the context or the concept that how God creates is that the first math that we saw in the creation in Genesis 1 is that God actually before divide, subtract, add, and multiply. You cannot add a new system to a chaotic life, a life that is not organized, a life that is having issues. The moment you want to add any of training, it could be a good idea, it could be a tactic, it could be strategy, it could be the best tools, it could be the best system, it could be the best plan. As you want to add it to that life cannot retain, that life cannot accept. The life is already disorganized, it has no routine, it's everywhere, it's always busy without being productive, without making progress. So before you multiply anything, you have to divide. And we saw that in the book of Genesis, of course, 1 3 to 4. That's what we discussed yesterday. That what God is in Genesis 1 3 to 4 is that he actually said that and God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from darkness. So God introduced light, God introduced knowledge, God introduced, so you need to see before you divide. And when he saw light it was good, he divided it from darkness. And what happened is that before he built the wall, okay, I think we need to call a Jala. Do you have this one? Something, okay. Before he built the wall, he separated darkness from light before he built the wall. So what he did, for you to build, because when God is telling you something about himself, he is directly telling you something about yourself, because we are in the image and likeness of God. We are like God. So before you build any success, you must dismantle any system of failure that is not empowering you, that is not taking you to your destination, financially, morally, spiritually, of course, in any area of your life. So we bear the image, likeness, resemblance, and reflection of God. Whatever God tells us about himself in the Bible is indirectly telling us about ourselves. Likewise, the way he does things is basically telling you the way that you need to do things. So you want to get things done, you have to model God's way, follow his ways of creation, and definitely to see how God creates, how God materializes his intention, how he manifests his ideas into the material world. Don't just look for tools, don't just look for techniques, don't just look for tactics. Just begin to think of and to add to multiply your life the way it is, focus on dividing everything that is not working and subtracting every negative and disempowering ideas in your mind. The reason you have to do this is because you cannot add a new system to a chaotic life. It doesn't work. When that life is already disorganized, all you need to do is to sit down and conduct internal audits. Look at the behaviors or beliefs, because you don't have to worry about the behavior. Just focus on the belief, because all behaviors are belief driven. Anyhow somebody behave is a product of his beliefs, product of his habits. So all these things you see, you can become better to achieve better results in every level of your life that needs improvement. You can. It doesn't matter about using the best tools, best technique, becoming the best version of yourself, because all your beliefs is going to show us in your results. It's going to show us in your behavior. And definitely we looked at, and God order of priority. God prioritized division, subtraction before adding and multiply. So God actually created everything after He must have divided darkness, light from darkness. You cannot add or subtract successfully. Then if you can divide and subtract successfully, then what God adds to you will eventually multiply. We discussed this in the marketplace, in the world that we find ourselves. You cannot build a successful system that is scalable if you are not going to dismantle the system that is not producing the result that you want. So we discussed and stopped at when we mentioned we came to the first act of creation was division. So God did not start creating things. He started by dividing things. Division is clarity, because once you say let there be light, and that means He brought in understanding. Yesterday we tried to differentiate between knowledge and understanding and wisdom, and we said something like this. I would like to still clean some of these things so that we can use it to make some special notes for us. So yesterday we started telling us that once somebody have quality information, that means the person has knowledge already, because knowledge is packaged information tailored to solve a problem. So if you are not informed, you are deformed. Once you have those information, and that means you have knowledge already. Once you package it to solve a problem, and then once you can assimilate, once you can explain it, that means you can understand. That means you can explain it. You can assimilate it. You can explain it. And once you apply it, that means you're a wise person, because wisdom still means you can apply. It means application. So if all the information you know, you cannot apply it to give you the result you want, that means you are not simply a wise person. A lot of people, no matter what you teach them, because of their identity, they will not be able to assimilate. They will not be able to understand. So this is the first act when God confronting a chaotic area. Okay, this is the first act when you confront a chaotic area in your life. Turn on the light. Of course, bring in the knowledge, get understanding, and apply it. Because in the book of, we put it here, Proverbs 4 verse 7. Proverbs 4 verse 7. We said that King Solomon said that wisdom is a principal thing, and therefore get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. So yesterday we discussed that to create a new environment, a new outcome, a new result in any area of our life, you must first divide every destructive, every non-empowering beliefs. You have to differentiate between light and darkness, between good and evil. Okay, we not even get there. I stopped here yesterday. Yes or yes? Okay, so I think we need to start from there today. Let's conclude on the first act of creation, and was division. So let's begin to see how we can disempower so many negative and disempowering ideas, thoughts in our mind that is restricting us from achieving the best version of ourselves, to achieve the result you want in business, in relationship, in any area of your life, as an entrepreneur that wants to make impact in your generation. So let's conclude on this. Write on your note. To create a new environment, to create a new environment, new outcomes. To create a new environment, to create a new environment, new outcomes, new results. To create a new environment, to create a new environment, new outcomes, new results. To create a new environment, new outcomes, new results, new income, etc. To create a new environment, to create a new outcome, a new result, a new income. You want to improve your income, any new thing you want in your life, you must first divide. You must first divide and differentiate. You must first divide and differentiate between light and darkness, to create a new environment, new outcomes, new results, new income, anything new you want to maybe a new idea, new activities, definitely you need knowledge. You have to bring in knowledge to divide and differentiate between light and darkness, comma, good and evil, comma, what works and what doesn't work. So for you to create a new result, a new outcome, any part, you have to sit down, study, learn, get advice, get counsel to divide and differentiate between good and evil, light and darkness, what works and what doesn't work, what is helpful and what is unhelpful. So you have to sit down first, conduct personal audits. In my life, I've been living for the past 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 100 years. What works and what doesn't work for me? Okay? Divide the light and darkness. What is helpful and what is not helpful? You have to differentiate what is right and what is wrong. You have to differentiate, because if you don't know it, you just live your life unorganized, and it's a chaotic life. It doesn't work. So for you to create a new outcome, a new result, you must divide and differentiate between light and darkness, comma, good and evil, comma, what works and what doesn't work, comma, what is helpful and what is not helpful, what is unhelpful, what is right and what is wrong, comma, what is useful and what is not useful. So this is how to separate these things. So, and that is why it's very difficult to improve a life that is not accountable, that is not documented. How do you improve it? So that is why we like, in our business learning community, we use KPIs, key performance indicator, we use DMOs, daily method operation, we use SOPs. So every time you do something, you document it. So you document your activities, document your results, so that you can now know the areas you need to improve. For example, in our business community, the KPI simply states how many calls did you make, how many texts did you make, how many chapters of book do you read. Everything you do in the office, you document it before you leave. And to help you to look at it, okay, I've done this for 1 week. So I think this thing I'm doing is not giving the result I want. So it's to help you to track your life, to improve. I tell you, a life that is not accountable is not worth living. A life doesn't want to be accountable to someone, to themselves, to God, to anybody. That is not worth living on earth. So if you cannot create a new environment, if you cannot differentiate, if you cannot introduce knowledge to know what is good, what is evil, comma, light and darkness, comma, what works for you and what doesn't work for you, you have to differentiate what is helpful and what is unhelpful to you, what is right and what is wrong, your weakness, your strength. You must actually know where to measure, because you can't be everywhere and become successful. You can't be everywhere. I told you, divided attention is divided energy. A lot of people don't understand that even God that created everything, the first act, but he came and said, let there be light, and there was light, and he divided immediately. A lot of people don't know their strength, their weakness, and you want to go into an environment to go and give it your best. You'll be so confused. But you know, this is my strength. You have to focus on your strength, because if you focus more on your strength, people will not even see your weakness most of the time, and that's what happened. So you must to be clear about the difference. You must be clear about the difference about good and evil. You must be clear what is helpful, what is not unhelpful, what is unhelpful, what is useful to you and what is not useful to you, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You must be clear about the difference. And if you want to create anything, then that is sustainable and scalable. So you must be clear about the difference if you want to create anything that is sustainable and scalable. Anything, it could be business, it could be marriage, it could be relationship, anything. You must know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You must know what is helpful and what is unhelpful, what is useful and what is not useful to you. You must know the difference between right and wrong. You must know the good and evil. You have to differentiate it. You must to be clear about what the difference. If you have to create, for you to create something that is sustainable and scalable. So until on this first act of creation, I would like us to write this down, very, very important. It's not about adding to the chaos, that is not adding to the current problem. It's not about adding to your chaotic life, your unorganized. It's not about adding. It's not about adding to the chaos that is already causing confusion. It's not about adding to chaos that already causing confusion. Your life is already disorganized. It's not about adding. Okay, I just need money. Let me just add. The goal is be, do, have. Become the person that can do the activity to have the result you are looking for. A lot of people say, just give me just the having. But having has to do with addition and multiplication. So let me just be having. It's not about adding to the chaos that's already causing confusion. It's not about adding, comma. It's all about how we can divide, comma, separate, comma, differentiate, and distinguish between good and evil. It's not about adding to the chaos already that is causing confusion. It's not about adding to it. it will not even be sustainable. It's not about adding to the chaos that is causing confusion. Comma is about how we can divide, comma separate, comma differentiate, comma distinguish. It's not about adding to the chaos that is causing confusion already. It's not about adding. It's not about adding. No matter what you add, you cannot pour a new wine into the old wine jar. It will burst. You cannot put on any good behavior or any good behavior into a wrong one already. Focus on the belief. The behavior will change. So you are telling somebody, stop this, stop this. I mean, no need to stop, pray and fast about your behavior. I'm telling you the truth. Focus on your belief system. Spend more time with the word of God. As you behold the word, you'll be transformed to that image. So leave your behavior alone. All those your habits you don't like. No, if you tell a man now, stop drinking, stop humanizing, you know, go stop. Don't leave his behavior alone. His behavior is not the problem now. Focus on his behavior. Put the word of God in front of the man every time. Let him behold. In fact, he will just lose energy to do bad. Even though he propose a bad thing to do, he just go lose energy. You don't know what he want to do again because the beliefs don't they change. Once a man believes he's changing, his behavior will change. Leave behavior alone. Behavior is not the problem. Tell him stop. No, I told you something, and if you see darkness here, and I come here and start speaking in tongues, darkness, die. You're not going to die. Even they're going to take me a whole day, let me look for the switch. Once I look out for the switch, I'll just on the switch, light will come. And darkness cannot even comprehend it. So one times it's not about adding. It's not about adding to the life that is already wrong already. See, it's about that's causing confusion. No? It's about dividing, separating, differentiating, distinguishing between good and evil, what is right and what is wrong, what is helpful and what is not helpful, what is useful and what is not useful, what works and what was. Separate it. Just sit down and conduct internal audit. Look, that I don't like, but I don't write. Because you know why? The moment you start writing, you are involved in your transformational process. Your hand will be involved, your eye, every thought of your body is involved. And if you don't participate, because the weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory. If you don't participate in your own transformation, it cannot be sustainable. For you to sustainably transform your life and scale it, even a business, all of us wrote business plan. Every businessman has a business plan because I told you, he that failed to plan to fail. So you have to run your life like a CEO because you are the CEO of your life. You are in charge. You are the architect of your life. If God could sit down before he created, he said, let there be light. Maybe it's all light. He did not stop there. He divided the confusion. Divided it immediately. Call one day, call one darkness, and give them their boundaries. Freedom is between the boundaries. Freedom is not about liberty. Liberty is not about just doing anything you like, anyhow. No. As an entrepreneur, as a businessman, as an investor, your life must be organized. They're not organized. That one is begging for a charge card. Touch your sister, I'm a success. That's one you can see waking up. Tell them, I'm a millionaire. So it's not about adding. When somebody comes to us and say, I want to be a millionaire, we're not arguing with you. But we say, for you to become a sustainable millionaire, not just to have, you must read this book because we must dismantle 17 wealth files that is not empowering you or first. So you don't refuse to participate in that process. We cannot even help you because we know if you add to that life, you see, you will motivate it. And that's what I keep telling you. If you motivate idiots, you become motivated idiot. Yes or yes? You're not talking to me again. So instead of motivating an idiot, change him first. Change his perspective. You don't be the coin by natural resources, you be the coin by mental resources. If you cannot emancipate, cannot deliver somebody mentally, forget about his physical life. Because even whatever you give to him, I told you, if you give without knowledge, it creates a hole in your pocket. If you give with knowledge, it creates a room in your pocket. So it's not about adding. It's about dividing, of course, and separating and differentiating and distinguish what is good and what is not good, what is bad, of course, and what is helpful and what is not helpful, what is useful and what is not useful, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But knowing yourself, because that's the most important thing, being in charge. Say, I'm in charge. Write down your note as to round up this first one. Write it down. The first order in creation process, underline the word creation process. The first order in creation process is let there be light. The first order in creation process is let there be light. God brought in knowledge. Maybe he brought light, you can see. Of course, the first order in the creation process, underline the word creation process. The first order in the creation process is let there be light. That's what God did. If the one that created you introduced light, not before you create anything, why don't you want to do it? And when light comes, bam, he separated everything. At the entrance of the word, give it understanding. So why are you resisting information? Why do you resist knowledge? I don't blame because, I always tell you that the Bible says something in the book of Proverbs 1, verse 22c. It says, fools hate knowledge. Fools do what? Hate knowledge. They hate it. They don't want a part of it. They hate knowledge. So anybody that hates knowledge in life is what? A very big fool. No matter what you know. Bible says, my people for lack of knowledge. He perish. So he doesn't know. He said, the labor of the foolish man wearied them all. They weary them. That laboring, that foolish people, they labor. They don't know their way to this. Why? They don't know. Knowledge means knowing something that gives you an edge. just know that gives you age. You know something that gives you age. That is knowledge. Now, if you don't know things that give you an edge over everyone, over the society, you'll be a victim instead of becoming a victor. Say, I'm a victor. So the thing is this: the first order in creation process is let there be light. Full stop. What lights? When light goes in, it exposes darkness. When light goes in, it exposes darkness. Comma review. When light comes into a man's life, it exposes darkness. Comma reviews and show you the things that is not working. When light comes into your life, it exposes darkness. Comma reviews and show you the thing that's not working for you. That's why I don't like someone that don't like knowledge, because how do you manage to see? You can no longer see. All of our weakness and strength. I have my own weakness and strength. I'm working more on my strength and pay attention on my weakness. Sometimes people even have weakness. I have a lot of weakness. Because I'm human being. I told you, we all make mistakes. That makes you human. But the fact, don't reinforce failure. Don't justify it. Get improvement. Get growth. And every level of your life, there's always the next level for you. Financially, morally, spiritually, can always be better. Always the next level. All it does, just stick today. So when light comes in, it reveals and exposes darkness. It exposes darkness, reveals and shows things that doesn't work. And your responsibility to separate. Tell not separate. Separate it. What is helpful and what is not helpful to you. What is useful and what is not useful to you. So separate it. So what am I trying to say today? If you want to build a business, organization, ministry, legacy, right on your nose. So I know you don't complain. I said that when light comes into your life, it exposes darkness. You've written that one down. Shall I? Hey, now you're talking to me. Comma. It reviews and shows you what doesn't work. You've written that one down. Shall I? And you have a responsibility to separate it. Once you see this is not working for you, don't fight it. You know, a lot of us don't like corrections. It's very painful. You know, when you're trying to do better, somebody's criticizing you. I have something they call constructive criticism, and it's a bad one for you. So when you want to become a leader, just maybe we're going to criticize you. You want to be at the top, you become the topic. You want to be the head, you become the headline. So there's nothing that just get to use to know what is constructive and what is not constructive. And the only way you can know that is that you have differentiated your life. Oh, this is who I am. This is me. This is what I can do. So when somebody says it's not on myself, okay, it's not a problem, you ignore it. You don't throw stones at every dog that backs at you. If you do that, you will not get to your destination, I can assure you. So you have to ignore certain people. You don't have to argue with a madman, because they will drag you to that level. Foolish men will always drag you. Don't argue with foolish people. They will drag you to that level. So, and you'll be so happy, I teach him his lesson. No, you don't teach him. That guy is a pig already. He's enjoying the datiness of the environment. So now you will be the correct person. Now in drag, you're actually in his domain. You the fellow pig they play for dating. He's happy now, but now you get sense. So don't argue with certain people. So what I'm trying to say, you must know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You must sit down, learn, and separate, because there's always the next level for you. Write down your notes, very important. If you want to build a business, you want to build a successful business, organization, ministry, legacy. You want to build a successful business, organization, ministry, legacy. etc. Start from the point of knowledge. Let there be light. You want to be a successful business, organization, ministry, legacy, run an office, become a civil leader, influencer, anything. Start from the point of knowledge. Bracket open, let there be light. So that if the knowledge comes, that's when you can actually see to separate. Many entrepreneurs actually fail in life because they jump into a business. Their friends say, nah, poultry farm they work, nah, fish farm. They just jump into it. They not sit down first to seek knowledge of the body of knowledge that governs that industry. There is a body of knowledge that governs every industry in this life. And there is a body of knowledge and wisdom. And definitely, if you don't see the knowledge of wisdom and knowledge that governs that industry, you struggle in it. You want to build a successful business, a scalable organization, ministry, legacy, etc. Start from the point of knowledge, full stop, bracket open, let there be light. Start from that point. And the reason for the order is so that you can divide and subtract. The reason for starting from the point of knowledge is so I can divide and subtract. So, is to divide. The reason for the order is so that I can divide and subtract. Divide and subtract to identify what works and what doesn't work. I told you God's creation order is that the first mathematical equation is divide, then God subtracts. After subtract, God add. When God add, God multiply. That's how God creates. And when God tells you how He creates, He's telling you how you too can create. I thought we are all creative beings. God created us image and likeness. God created three things. Genesis created the creation. Let there be light, the walls. Let there be this, the form in the walls. God now created the creatures. He spoke to the earth. Let the water bring forth his kind. Let the water, it brought banana, pineapple. It brought all these things, you see. And then God spoke to it. God said, let us create man in our image and likeness. So we are not creation, we are not creatures, we are creators. So I'm a creator.
I'm a creator.
So we are actually creating. You can even see it's evidencing in what we see. This laptop phones, everything is created by man. Man have a creative property, have the potential to create. All of us have potential to create our financial life, our emotion. We have the giant, but most people don't even awaken that giant. I've been telling you. You may be born naked, empty, naked. You are not born empty. God deposits something in you, give things, talents, ideas, creativity. All you need to do is to discover, develop, and deploy. Tell anybody discover.
Discover.
Tell anybody develop.
Develop.
Tell anybody deploy.
Deploy.
So the reason for this order is so I can divide and subtract to identify what works for you and what doesn't work for you. What you need and what you don't need. There's so many things you don't need on your journey. Travel light, you will travel far. Travel light on your pilgrimage journey. If you carry too many load, so many baggages, it will weigh you down. The less things you carry, the less things you hold on the faster you will go. You want to even go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go with people. You need it. All this is something you need to understand. That's why you want to build a sustainable business. You must understand that business is not for you to be involved as octopus. It's to build men that will build the business. Work on men. You work on men, you will scale your business. You know, what you do very well as a solopreneur or self-employed, you will not, once you take up a role of an office of a CEO, the role is different. You know, that time you're a solopreneur, you are a self-employed, your hand is octopus. You are the procurement officer, the production manager, supply, everything is working in your space. But the fact that once you move from being that to that's why you have to document your processes. From being an implementer, document your processes so that when you take over this higher role, you now delegate. Any business you cannot delegate, is a job. That's the thing. The day you stop, you stop. Whatever you can do, others can do, delegate. They not delegate. Whatever you cannot do, and others can do it, outsource. They not outsource. Only do the things that only you can do. Only focus on only things you can do. So, and it's very important you know this as an entrepreneur. So, anything you want to go into, seek knowledge, understanding, and wisdom in that area. So, and let there be light is the first order in the creation process, and the reason for the light is so that you can divide and subtract. You mentioned that one now, yes or yes?
Yes.
So, what happened is that don't write this one, but listen to me. The light will help you to see what works and what doesn't work, and what you need and what you don't need, and what is useful to you and what is not useful, what is helpful and what is not helpful. Write down your note, very important. That level of clarity is going to become a form of leverage. That level of clarity is going to become a form of leverage for your creation project, for your creative project, sorry. That level of clarity that you can now seek knowledge to see what is helpful and what is not helpful, what is you and not. That level of clarity is going to become a form of leverage for your creative project. It's going to be a form of leverage for you. You're not going to major on the minor. You're going to major on the major. That's what happened. That clarity, that level of clarity is going to become a form of leverage for your creative project, any project at all. But a lot of people don't understand because they are too busy to seek knowledge. They think that this life rewards you by effort. Life does not reward you by effort. Life rewards you by the thought behind the effort, the knowledge behind the effort, and the, of course, definition behind the effort. If life reward effort, those that carry down good cement from trailer to warehouse, they would have become the richest men in the world. Not men like us who seek knowledge, who are making money effortlessly. Money work for God. We seek value. What we work for, we work for value. We work for relationship. We work for knowledge. We don't work for money because money is a bad master and a loyal servant. We understand that money follows something. So that thing money follows. That's what we are following. So money follows value in forms of product or services. So instead of looking for money, instead of praying for money, you go and pray to God to give you idea, give you innovation, give you thought, so you can go and implement it so that money can work for you. I want money to work for you. Say amen. Amen. There's something you need to seek. Once you seek that thing, money follows you. So it's like a magnet. And looking at it today, that level of clarity is going to become a form of leverage for your creative project. You've written that one down, shall I? So what are you going to do? This season of your life, you have to use to do research, investigate, interrogate, to understand your field very well, and go into any industry, any business, any circle of influence to create and make a difference. Whatever you are, whatever area you need improvement on, and you get understanding, whatever area of life. That will lead me to the second thing, which where I'm going to there. Subtract before you add. Let me show some practical steps. Subtract before you add. Very, very practical. I don't know. Mr. Bombilon, can you hear me? Okay, that means I'm trying a lot now. Okay, that's a good one. Subtract before you add. Dismantle the dysfunction. So you have to subtract before you add. I've called dismantle the dysfunction. You have to dismantle the dysfunction. Whatever that is not adding to you, whatever that is not adding to you is taken away from you. Whatever you have to subtract before you add, dismantle the dysfunction. In fact, I like this so much. I told you, I'm not a pastor. I don't want to become one. But what I do most of the time is that whenever I'm talking to entrepreneurs, businessmen, investors in this area of the world, most of us are Christians, so we agree on certain things. So most of us agree on the scripture. So we can start from there. Once we can agree on scripture basis, forget about the rest. Our conversion will always be aligning. It's about alignment. Alignment. Until you be able to align your discipline, your whatever you do, that with the God's mandates and dominion mandates for your life, fulfillment never comes. Fulfillment only comes for those who actually fulfill the mandate of God for their life, because you are a product. You are divinely sent deliberately to this world as a solution to someone. So there is a purpose for your value, your purpose, your presence on earth. There's a reason why God sent you to that family, to that village, to the way you find yourself, and there's a purpose for you. So you don't need to know that purpose. You can achieve everything you want in life. No fulfillment only comes when you align. What you are doing, you have to align it with God's dominion mandate for your life. So I like to take this one, Matthew 15, verse 18. Matthew 15, of course, 18. And it says something very important. It says that every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be uprooted up. So it's simple. It's as easy as that. So what did God do? God actually subtract everything that he actually doesn't want before he add. You have to subtract first. You have to take away the old. You want to put, like one lady, Ambassador Blessing said yesterday, if the jerry can is bad and you want to put your drinking water, it's just reasonable to wash it first, clean it up before you put the drinking water. Because once you get the drinking water and put in the dirty can, that water is bad already. You cannot drink it. You do it can cause you typhoid, it can cause anything. So you want to even do, you have to pass it through another process of purification. But once you just clean the jerry can first, sweep it first, just make sure it's clean before you put a new one. A behavior that's not working, you want to add, you get that bad attitude already. There's a way he thinks and feel about himself. You got to add. Have you not seen people go to church? That when pastor is preaching, they're happy, excited. Once they leave the church, 10 minutes, their old behavior setting again. Because all they needed to have done is to sit down and know that this thing is empowering me. So we say, I don't know why I just act like this. So when I'm angry, this is how I behave. Really? You don't know you have the power to change it. He said, I cannot change that. No, he doesn't want to accept. Forget him. You cannot teach a man who doesn't want to learn. Tell your neighbor. You cannot teach a man who doesn't want to learn. The reason is because a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Tell no, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Yes, he has a belief system he held on to. The village people are pursuing me. The reason why I'm poor is my father was broke. My father, now nobody's helping me. So he held on to that negative belief. I tell you, you're a source. He said, I'm a source. I'm millionaire. As you live here, that thing come back again. The reason why you're not successful, that village people have been after you. And every time, let me not go there too. Let's continue. So, write on your notes. We are now in outline number 3. Subtract before you add. Write it down. You cannot build kingdom system on a broken. You cannot build kingdom system on broken and flesh-based foundation. You cannot build kingdom system on a broken and flesh-based foundation. You cannot. You cannot build kingdom system. You cannot build it on a broken and flesh-based foundation. Don't I want to explain? So that's why the Bible said that, come unto me all your labor and heavy laden, I will give you rest. So when you come unto me, behold, all things are passed away. You have become God needs to, you want to give birth. If not, you cannot build anything. The person must accept him first. Because that's why I said in entrepreneurship. When we come to entrepreneurship, we have to delete the way you used to think as an employee. You have to do it as a solopreneur. You have to begin to tell about the job description of a CEO, a job description of an MD of a company. That MD doesn't have to be the one to sweep the staircase. MD has to call someone, delegate. They not delegate. You have to work on people. Our job as CEOs and MD is to work on people. Dangote doesn't work in Dangote refinery, of course, cement industry at Otukbo, but he doesn't work refinery in Lagos. He has to delegate. They not delegate. Your work is to think and communicate. That's the highest form of creation. Think and communicate. But you have to, I told you there are 4 ways universe reward you. How many ways? 4 ways. Let me clean this one. No, I'm not going here today. Let me show you. The 4 ways universe reward you. This is how it works. It's called the value ladder of creation. Number 4 is called the implementers. What else is called? The implementers. God rewards the implementers the lowest. The implementers, they reward the lowest in every organization. They exchange their time for money. They exchange their energy for money. You go to bank. The people that get the lowest pay, the people that sweep, the gate men, they spend their time for money. Go to a hotel. People that get paid the lowest is the receptionist. They spend their time for money, energy for money, effort for money. So they implement. That the implementers, the only way implementer can become successful is to document his processes. Tell them document. That is the only way it can be successful. Document it, because the next level here is called the managers. What else is called? Every manager manages the implementers. So a good implementer will be a good manager. These guys, they unify. The reason why God unify for money, they unify for money. So they are getting paid more than the implementer. God have assumed a higher level of responsibility. In a bank, manager get paid more than the implementer. The sweeper, the cleaner, they did the job. In a hotel, they get paid. Any organization, managers are always paid more than the implementers. Agree with me now? Yes or yes? Don't even stay here. This is the lowest form of reward in life. That you want to get paid more in life, move to the second one. This is called the communicators. What else is called? Communicators. This is what they use their mouth to make money. They use their mouth to make. God rewards people who use this mouth to make money. Who are they? The pastors, the coaches, the mentors. We are getting paid more for talking to make money. People don't understand. These are angry with us because we communicate to managers, manage implementers. Okay, let's talk about it. On a site where they are building house, the manager of the site and the guy that carries cement, who does more work? The guy that carries the blocks and mix the sand, and the manager, who does more work? Okay, let's start from supervisor. They have supervisor. The manager that manages the implementers. Since the manager or the supervisor manages the guys that carry the blocks, who get more pay? Manager. Who does more work? The guy that talk in the government house and collect the contract. He talked and presented to and collect the contract and assault the manager. Between communicators and manager, who does more work? Manager. Who get more pay? The architect that drew the plan make more money than the guy that went to implement on the site. And the guy that make more money. That's how the universe rewards. These are angry with us. You just start and making. They think that the universe rewards you here than this one. The last one is called the imaginators. What else is called? The imaginators. So the imaginators, we use our mind to make money. Use money to make money. We use our mind to create. They not create. Then if you use your mind to make money, you make more money than people are talking. Even God said, let us. God said, God think, finish, think for his mind. God said, let us create man. He can't communicate with his mouth. Let us create man in our image and likeness. After God finished, he now went in Genesis 2 to go to implement what he thought. You know, this thing happens in, I keep on saying you, of course, Genesis 1 verse 27. God created man in our image. And in Genesis 2 verse 7, God came down to form man out of the dust. God even implemented after he must have created. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So what am I trying to say? Subtract before you add. Write this one down. It will make sense to you. The universe, write it down your notes. Subtraction means, I'm going to give you 5 things and we'll close the class for today. Then tomorrow we continue. Subtraction means, number 1, remove every routine that produces poor results in your life. Subtraction means remove every routine that produces poor results in your life. How do you remove it if you don't even write it? That's the question I'm asking you. So you must write first. What works for you? Now, subtraction means remove every routine that produces a poor result in your life. Remove every routine that produces a poor result in your life. Remove every routine that produces a poor result in your poor result. This because if you don't remove it, that's why you ask yourself, cannot work. Number 2, dismantle every habit that drains your energy. Dismantle every habit that drains your energy. Dismantle every habit that drains your energy. So subtraction means, number 1, remove every negative routine, every poor routine that produces poor results in your life. Remove it. And number 2, dismantle every habit that drains your energy. There are some habits that drains your energy, and you don't need it. You don't need it. It's not necessary. You know, it's just like having the habit of always not being silent. Like you always want to defend yourself. You know, you always want to be Mr. Right. You know, if someone just say Wakashika, they want to stop and give you the Wakashika there. Is that me? I give them. It's not all the time. So most of the time, just keep quiet. Because the best answer for a fool is silence. They're not silence. And nobody can quote you wrong when you're silent. Because you don't say anything, they can only assume, hey, what did you say? Say nothing, no. But when you're always talking, in fact, they will say, this is what you said. It's a very bad. Just learn to be silent most of the time. And let me tell you what to do. When these things happen, just smile. Tell not smile. I have a philosophy I've been holding on to for a long time. And my philosophy in that area is that that is anything bad or anything that is not I just to smile about it. And I have another philosophy that helped me a lot. And that philosophy is that you cannot teach someone that already knows. So when somebody comes and begins to prove that he knows, I will just shut up. Because the fact is that it's a province of knowledge to speak and province of wisdom to be quiet. Yes or yes?
Yes.
That you know that you're a wise man. What we know you're wise, you're always quiet. Because even the foolish man, when he's quiet, you think he's a wise man. Yes or yes?
Yes.
He didn't say anything. So number one, you have to remove routine that produce poor result. Number two, dismantle every habit that drains your energy. Number three, letting go of circle that glorifies survival over stewardship. Letting go of circles, work, ministry, letting go of things that glorify survival. These guys here are surviving. Letting go every circle that glorifies survival. Thank you. Survival over stewardship. So what happened is that for us, we are more of stewards. We are more of managers. We are more of men that make things happen than managing. Don't be here. This is surviving. These are sorry. Don't survive. Become significant. Letting go of every circle that glorifies survival over stewardship. Number four, God subtracts disorder before establishing divine order. 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 And the last but not the least for today, you must allow God to prune you before he promotes you. You must allow God to prune you before he promotes you. That pruning, bracket open, discipline. You must allow God to prune you before he can promote you. You must allow God to prune you before he can promote you. And I'll end with this. John 15 verse 2. John 15 verse 2. It says something. They said that every branch in me that beareth not fruit, my Father take it away. Take it away. Every branch that beareth fruit, he prune it that you may bear more fruit. Now, this pruning will not even be a difficult thing if you are just yielding. When God said, follow me, leave your father's kingdom, a house, you just follow. He said, Peter, follow, I'll make you fishers of men. You follow. But if you need to drag, I don't want to feel God's divine mandate for my life. My dominion mandate, I don't want to feel my problem. You'll be struggling. You can have things, but the one thing happen, the ladder will lean on the wrong wall. And then you get to the top, you just realize it's on the wrong wall. So you must just accept the pruning before he can promote you. God doesn't promote a man, he doesn't prune. That is the truth. He said, even God told you to test all spirit. I told you before, don't trust the loyalty of a poor man. Taste all of them. If your father can even taste you, prune you, allow you to pass through, even when you pass through fire, I will be with you. So as an entrepreneur that wants to actually build on solid rock, not on sand, to build a sustainable business, there's a routine behind every result. I'm going to show you some of the routines at the course of the class that will give you the truly result and of course outcomes you are looking for. And before we even do that, you must learn how to subtract before you add, because that's what God did. And the only way you can subtract before you add is this. You have to get pen and paper and begin to write it down. What works for you and what doesn't work. What is helpful to you, what is not helpful to you. I will not do it for you. What is useful to you, what is not useful to you. What is right and what is wrong. What is good and what is evil. What is light and what is darkness. You have to sit down. It is your responsibility. But how then do you even see to know we don't accept knowledge? It's very wrong. That's why I tell you, even if you don't want to even do anything, accept that first responsibility we give you in our business. Just to read The Secret of the Millionaires Man by T. Aveka. That book takes 17. Any of the world's fight that you see yourself, just say this one, I need improvement. This one, I'm doing well. I can do better. Then I can do better.
I can do better.
That's the best we can take for today. So online community, don't get involved in the business. So sorry, we have technical issues here. And that is the best we can take. Tomorrow we'll fix it up before tomorrow this time. And I want to say this to you so that it's one of my professional advice. And that cost over $1 million. But the things I also give it for free. That you don't get involved in a business without a mentor. My philosophy is that Mentorship is a legal shortcut to success. And he that stands on the shoulder of mentors will, of course, will see better, will see far, and will be able to avoid the mistakes the mentors make. Leave the world a better place you meet the world. Make a significant impact. Don't just come and pass as if nobody came, because you can become better, the ultimate, stronger, better version of yourself. See you at the top. God bless you tomorrow. That is the best we can take today. That is shalom. God bless you.